Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next episode of Game of Drones. Time for some more awesome TLO action, and he's going to be the Blue Zerg at the 730 position here on Antigua Shipyard. Now, his opponent is not a no-namer. I actually had a second glance at the replay pack here that he sent out a few days ago, and it turns out that there is one player here that is pretty well known. It is Elfie. Acer's Elfie will now be accepting the challenge here to attempt to claim the throne from TLO. TLO has only fallen once in this epic journey to become the next big Zerg. And we'll see if Elfie can take him down here. Another Protoss challenger. And having a glance through the replay pack, I also noticed that there were no Terran challengers. So not too sure why, but maybe some Terrans out there should step up, give TLO some epic games so he can post them up on his next replay pack. Now, both these players wishing each other, of course, the usual mannered good luck, have fun. And I'm very excited to be able to bring you guys this game, not because it's finally a player that we all know, it's Elfie, but also because, hey guys, it's time for some headsets giveaways, and I know a lot of you guys have been waiting to get some new headsets. I am going to give you guys another shot to win some free Gamecom Plantronics headsets, courtesy, once again, of Gamecom and Plantronics. Now, as always, if you guys want to win, they're giving away 3 $100 headsets. All you have to do is watch this replay and go to gamecom.plantronics.com, register an account, post a comment on the news portal regarding this replay that'll be called Epic Replay number, I don't know, 9 or something like that. Don't quote me on that number. I'm not too sure what the number is, but go ahead and go on their website, register an account, post a comment, and then email gamecom@essagency.com, I believe, an email with the answer to the trivia questions regarding this replay. And if you answer correctly, I think it's 3 questions, you guys will get a shot to win a $100 headset. They'll send it right to your house, and pretty cool stuff. So the directions are in the more description link down below this video. If you guys want more information or want it in detail, you guys can just click the more info section below. By the way, there is a pylon and a photon cannon coming up, and this time TLO will be punished for going hatchery first in ZVP. Although he has a lot of drones here, and I think Elfie's positioning on the photon cannons, while it's good, it wasn't puck good. Usually, if you're gonna do the little forge break here, you want to put the pylon and the cannons behind the mineral field. And I think Elfie missed his opportunity to do so, and he could have actually punished his hatchery in a major way. But having said that, there has been a recent resurgence here in Zerg versus Protoss, with Zerg players beginning to hatch first even against the Forge build. Obviously, TLO favoring that style, as he's done it in all the ZVPs, I believe, that I've casted already. And Zergs now are understanding how to hold it off. You just got to pull all your drones, and you got to micro really damn well. A lot of Zergs are able to do it now. And good job by TLO. He's going to make the hold. The last pylon falls, and now that the creep has begun spreading, very unlikely Elfie will commit any longer. And of course, the spawning pool is up as well. So Zerglings can make their way across the field and pretty much destroy any photon cannons that Elfie wants to make. Elfie here now going to scurry the probe over to the top left of Antigua. We'll see what he decides to do with that momentarily. By the way, guys, Game of Drones, aka TLO, currently, I believe, 4-1 in his series. This is, I believe, episode 6. I've just been doing so many episodes, I've lost track already. And it looks like there is a cybernetics core coming up here at the front door. Once again, no Protoss is really opting to full wall off anymore. Double gas as well from Elfie, so we may see a quick tech to the skies as the previous opponent did with that early Stargate. There's actually a myriad of possibilities here for Protoss players to operate off of that early gas. Love the positioning on the Overlord as well. Good vision to the low ground, but not susceptible to attacks because it's still on a platform. Probe trying to come in here, and TLO immediately with his queen going to try to deflect that. He gets a couple of shots off. That probe will make its way into the base, however, but nothing too serious to see, as TLO has not even begun gassing yet. There we go, first gas on the way, and another hatchery coming down at the third. And that probe is going to be destroyed as it made its way inside the main. Now, I'm wondering if we're finally going to see TLO use that Stefano style that is so prevalent now in Zerg versus Protoss. Of course, Stefano recently revealing in the community that you can open up with the Roach style and actually max out on Roaches at 11 minutes, not 12, a full 60 seconds faster. Absolutely devastating to Protoss players. How in the world do you deal with that? So here we go. It looks like a Stalker going to make its way over to the third. Of course, this Stalker is at huge risk for its life. Thankfully, though, there are no Zerglings, nor is there speed on the map. Excuse me, there are Zerglings, but no speed. Speed now just beginning to be researched, so the Stalker should be able to make its way out. Maybe we'll kill off a couple of Zerglings, actually. And no control from Elfie. He's actually got shields that he can burn through first. And so he picks off 2 Zerglings, and we'll see what he can do inside the base here. My computer's already beginning to lag. I've got to fix this before my next couple of casts. Maybe this weekend I'll have time to do it. Looks like the Queen here could go down. Oh, TLO has got to be careful. He's so well known for his Queen control and having so many Queens, and was able to save it. And now setting some Zerglings on these 2 Stalkers. He might be able to get the Stalkers. Little dance of death here from TLO. Anticipating the Stalkers to run away, but Elfie was not giving him that satisfaction. But Elfie deciding to stay just a little bit too long, ended up losing 2 Stalkers in the opening phases of this game. That is a devastating blow here. A robotics facility coming up from Elfie, as well as a quick support bay. And now we can see where his gas has been put into. He's going to go into quick Colossus off of 2 bases here. Very greedy tech up. Of course, he doesn't have double forge, so he's not playing ultra greedy. Some Protoss players will go double forge and go for the quick Colossus, which is just blows my mind how they can even do that. But we can see that Elfie playing that quick Colossus route, which can be very effective. It's extremely potent against Zergling, Roach, Infester, which seems to be what TLO is doing. He's going to trap another Stalker. And I love how he's working down the rocks here, leading into the third. That's actually a brilliant idea. That's going to open up another avenue to attack that Nexus when it should come up. Thermal Lance now on the way from the Protoss, as well as +1 weapons beginning to finish up. Of course, TLO keeping pace, just maybe a little bit behind, but not too far behind. As his Carapace and now weapons are coming. Rocks have been destroyed as well for TLO, so now he's going to have that third avenue to go into the Nexus when it comes up, and this is good for him. With the Zerglings he's already got on the field, he can delay this Nexus for a considerable amount of time with the avenues he's now opened up. And of course, because Elfie went for the quick tech route, he really doesn't have any units at all. He's just now adding on gateways 4 and 5. So that third Nexus will be pretty late. In fact, that is 6 and 7. He's gonna have 7 gate plus Robo and Colossus off of 2 base here. With the plus weapons finished up already, I think that Elfie has an opportunity here to make an attack with the very quick Colossus. And what's really nice here is I don't know if TLO has seen the Colossus yet. That Overseer is just in range of seeing that Colossus, and it will be revealed on the way out. So now TLO knows, and he should throw down either Infestation. There we go, Infestation Pit on the way. I was gonna say he should either throw down a quick Infestation Pit or a quick Spire. Either way really makes sense, because you want to go up to Hive, get Broodlords to combat that, and of course for Spire, that allows you to get Broodlords, and you're able to get Corruptors to combat that. And actually, TLO's response here also to double expand to the bottom right. So he's gonna try to out-expand his opponent here, you know, taking the eco route to combat the tech route. But that is 600 minerals tied up into hatcheries that he may otherwise use into units now, because there is a move out of forces from Elfie. The Colossus have range, and now TLO finally starts the Spire. I was a little bit concerned there, but he has a Spire now on the way, now trying to spread out his units. He is actually cornered. He's got to be careful here. These Roaches going to the left. The rest of the Roaches, Zerglings and Roaches going to the top into the third here. TLO's playing a dangerous game here. He's playing the Game of Thrones. And you either win or die. This is really risky. And he's going to finally get the Zerglings out. So nice little cat and mouse by TLO. He was able to play that little board of chess and kind of bait the Protoss units away from his Roaches and Zerglings. There was a moment there where these Roaches were actually getting trapped up to the top left. And he could have lost some units, but he was able to circumvent that. And now it looks like Elfie feeling very confident. Gonna push out. He has not researched +2 yet. That's a bit of a surprise. Usually Protoss players have +2 around the time they push out here. He hasn't been keeping up with the Forge upgrades. And now TLO is gonna make a counterattack. With Roaches and Zerglings. Armor 1 is about to finish up as well. So both players may be going for a base race here. As TLO attacks through the front door, trying to shove everything through. The core has fallen. We're not going to see any more Stalkers. That's a big blow. And the hatchery has fallen as well. But right now, Elfie in more immediate danger than TLO because, of course, his unit's already at the natural, and TLO has redundant hatcheries to the bottom right here. He can play it safe. TLO's just gonna kill off a lot of probes. He's inside the main as well. Meanwhile, Elfie attacks through into the natural, so we have a full-on base race from both sides. Whoever has the most buildings remaining is going to be declared the victor, and not just buildings, but crucial buildings, important buildings, tech buildings, gateways. Those are important right now, and TLO realizes that, gonna go for the warp gates. Meanwhile, his natural is being ransacked. No response from TLO. He's lost a bunch of drones, workers killed, skyrocketing up to 42 and 30 respectively. The lair at the natural will drop, and TLO now making a Nidus network. Alright, that's pretty interesting. We'll see which way he goes with this Nidus. Obviously, he can actually run all of his units away here. Whatever units he has inside the main, he can escape through the Nidus. I think that's what he's going to try to do, but he's got to make the exit point first. And where is he going to make the exit point? Right now, he's actually killing off all the warp gates of Elfie. All the production has gone down. No more Colossus, no more Immortals, no more Stalkers, no more nothing. In fact, Elfie has pulled his probes from home. He's gotten his civilians to fight for him. The Nidus Worm has erected. And it's actually come down to the bottom right. Brilliant play by Game of Drones. And the Zealot comes in here. It sees that there are hatcheries down at the bottom right. And now what is Elfie going to do? After immediately killing off the Spire, I would imagine he's got to make a beeline for the bottom right hatcheries and kill it off before any type of defense can be raised up. There it goes. The Spire has fallen. Spawning pool needs to drop as well. And Elfie now has no more worries about enemy production. And he's on a timer now. He's on a stopwatch. He's got to race to the bottom right corner and eliminate TLO before his buildings be eliminated. There's only a couple of gateways left here and a few pylons. And Game of Drones, aka TLO, gonna kill off the final gateway, but Elfie claiming the assimilator at the bottom left natural where the Zerg once stood, and great play by TLO. Corruptor squad at the high ground, able to almost kill off that Colossus. There is the corruption as well on the Colossus, weakening their armor, not weakening their armor, but allowing them to take more damage to attacks. And it looks like they sacrifice themselves to weaken the final Colossus. TLO now bringing his troops down to the south. This is getting down to the wire right now. Probes and drones all are about to fight each other. And TLO's gonna have to bring everything in here. That Colossus is not exposed though. Very good control from Elfie, keeping the Colossus apart and away from the enemy roaches. He's utilizing his ground units as a buffer. He knows this Colossus is his one key to victory. It allows him to laser everything down, and now Elfie's inside the final hatchery. What do we have going on here? Just an Overlord pooping party. A new hatchery coming up though, so TLO, even if he loses all the buildings here, he still has a way to survive. A couple of roaches somehow finding themselves inside the main, and now it looks like TLO is actually going to hunt for buildings. There is another assimilator he's going to try to kill off. There is actually an assimilator at the gold as well. I don't know where Elfie has found a way to sneak probes out, but it looks like he's going to lose the assimilator over here, and this, I believe, is the last building for Elfie. It's a race to the finish. Roach Horn has dropped, but remember, there is an extractor over here, so I think Elfie's going to be eliminated. That's going to be all she wrote. The last building has gone down. No! Elfie has been utilizing the probes in his army to make assimilators. Wherever his army walks, he's basically planting the flag, the conqueror's flag, everywhere he goes. He's plundered and looted and done other unspeakable things, but everywhere he goes, he puts his flag down so he cannot be eliminated. And with the assimilator in this position, he's actually in a really good spot if he could just, well, actually, he's not in a good spot. He has no more money to make a Nexus, so it's a full-on base race right now, whereas there are still hatcheries on the map. Very wise from Game of Drones to keep hatcheries up, and I don't know it! What the heck? How did Elfie have enough money to make a Nexus? He must have already had that queued up when I was looking at the minerals count. So Elfie is re-expanding to the gold, which I think is a mistake. I think Elfie should actually, it's a risk. I think he could have expanded down here or here where his last building remains, but to expand to the gold, it's a risk, but it's a calculated risk. It is in the open. However, if he can accumulate these gold resources, he has probes on the field. He actually has 7 compared to the 4 of TLO. He might be able to pull this off, but the roaches are coming in right now, and the Nexus is taking heavy fire. The roaches are surrounding from all angles. Force field comes down. Elfie backs the Colossus out of harm's way. Very good control from Elfie. Will he have enough? The soft sentries and Immortals are getting taken out right now. I don't know if TLO's gonna have enough roaches to win this fight. Reinforcements arriving from the right. It's a battle to the death. Who is going to be declared the victor here? That Colossus was never focused down. And now, are there enough roaches to finish off that Colossus? That Colossus and 4 Stalkers are all that remains between defeat and victory for Elfie. Likewise for TLO, only 5 roaches on the field. Actually, investing in the drones right now is TLO. He's making 5 drones. An observer coming in to scope the scene out. Very interesting decision now from TLO to make drones. Obviously, he doesn't really have any other option. He can't make anything else because he doesn't have any other buildings. These roaches are going to get cornered, though. Like pawns on a chessboard, they've been cornered into their own base from whence they came, and that is going to be it for TLO's army. And now it's really just a race. No, it's not. TLO has lost the game. He has realized that he just did not have enough probes, or excuse me, drones to maintain the battle. But what a fantastic game of StarCraft 2 that was. I was down to the wire, and that certainly warrants as being the epic replay from Gamecom Plantronics. Once again, guys, if you guys want to win a free headset, go check out gamecom.plantronics.com. All the information can be seen in the more info section below this video. You can click on that to expand it. And let me go ahead and find one of these major battles here. There was just action all over the place. To go ahead and just talk about what was going through these players' heads. But, you know, at this point, obviously both players have committed themselves. There is no turning back. When your army is on this side of the map, if you're Protoss, and the enemy Zerg has all his forces on this side, this is a full-on base race. So what's going through your head at this moment in time is keeping your buildings up, surviving, you know? I will survive, that song, that's what's playing through these guys' heads right now. That's what their theme song should be. And so brilliantly, what Elfie did is wherever his army went, he pulled his probes with his army, he made assimilators. He was just making as many buildings as possible to keep himself in the game. And that was so wise and so intelligent. Now, losing that one Colossus did hurt him a bit, but thankfully he kept the last Colossus alive. That was very good Colossus control. Now, you know what, I think TLO, I really feel like TLO played it very well, you know. It's tough to fault him at any point in this game. I think right here, he should have tried to evacuate his forces into the Nidus Worm. But the problem I think here is he didn't have enough gas to make an exit point. So, oh, that sucks, because if he could have put all the drones into this worm and had an exit point, he could have saved all of his workers and all of these roaches. But of course, if you send them in and there's no exit point and the worm dies, then you lose all your units underground. The subterranean units just smother under whatever this is, the map. So that kind of sucked for TLO because he invested so much into the bottom right-hand expansions, and he lost everything. This was really the turning point in the base race because he lost absolutely all of his economy, all of his hatcheries, because he was actually ahead in terms of, you know, the race scenario. He was like ahead by at least a mile, and you know, now it just came down to that kind of, hey, I'm gonna just try to kill off all your buildings. Now, the last battle really was interesting to me because TLO not once tried to go for the Colossus, and this, whoa. TLO did not once he didn't try to go for the Colossus, and you can't fault him for that because, and this is the reason why, is because you don't have, once you're in this position, if you send your roaches to go after the Colossus, think how long it takes for them to go around the force fields and reach that Colossus. And the positioning from Elfie was so brilliant because as soon as those roaches started to attack, hey, look, this Colossus can just run over the mineral fields and then even over the ramp up here as well. And that is just impossible for the roaches to chase. And if TLO had gone on that wild goose chase, those stalkers and sentries left behind here would have just roasted him. So what TLO decided to do, it was a huge gamble, it didn't pay off obviously. What he decided to do was, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna go for the main army and try to win that way. And he did have a huge upgrade advantage. That was why, you know, you look at this battle and you think, hey, there's no way he's gonna win. But remember, he was at 2-1, stalkers were only at 0-1. So he tried, and it was a valiant attempt. Even had reinforcements coming in as well. But as we can all see, Elfie just playing it out a little bit better. And at the end of that battle there, you can see going after the wild goose chase not going to work. And it's a bit unfortunate. It was a very close game, though, and it certainly warrants as one of the better ones I've seen. Super close base race between two top StarCraft 2 stars. Once again, guys, check out Gamecom Plantronics. You guys can win some free headsets. Big shout out to them. Hopefully you guys enjoyed these casts. If you did, check me out. I'm at youtube.com/HDStarcraft. You guys can also find me on Facebook and Twitter at HDStarcraft as well. And I think that's all I have to say. There are still more episodes here in Game of Drones. Never fear, never fret. The chapter never ends with TLO until he decides to retire. So there it is, guys. GG. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next game.